Apple is gearing up for another massive leap in smartphone technology, but this time, it might come a hefty price tag that could redefine what we consider premium in the smartphone world, as reports suggest that the iPhone 18 series could become Apple's most expensive lineup ever, and the culprit behind this major shift is the all-new A20 chip, which will be based on TSMC's cutting-edge 2 nanometers process, a technological marvel that promises incredible performance and efficiency, but at a cost that even Apple might struggle to absorb. According to a recent report from China Times, the pricing for these next-gen chips will skyrocket by up to 50% compared to current 3nm based A19 chip used in the iPhone 17 series, meaning that Apple could soon face one of its biggest pricing challenges in years. To put this into perspective, last year's iPhone 16, powered by the A18 chip, had a bill of materials, BOM, of around $416 for the 256 gigabytes model, with the chip alone costing roughly $45. When Apple transitioned to the A19 chip using TSMC's 3 nanometers N3P process, the cost rose by about 16% to 24%. Yet Apple managed to keep the iPhone 17's retail price steady at $799, likely absorbing the small hit to its profit margins. However, this time, things are drastically different. A 50% increase in chip manufacturing costs could mean Apple has no choice but to raise retail prices for the iPhone 18 series to maintain its margins. The move to 2 nanometers technology marks a new era in chip fabrication, bringing unmatched speed, improved power efficiency, and smaller transistors that allow more complex processing power in the same footprint. But TSMC, the world's leading chip maker, has reportedly informed clients, including Apple, that the cost of producing these advanced chips will be significantly higher, not just due to new machinery, but also because of the complexity and lower initial yield rates. This means that for Apple, which ships hundreds of millions of devices annually, even a small cost increase per chip translates into billions of dollars in additional expenses, a figure that the company may not be willing to absorb entirely. The iPhone 18 series, therefore, could be the first in years to see a notable price increase, especially for the Pro and Pro Max variants, which already start at premium price points. Analysts speculate that the base why Apple is choosing a staggered release schedule to refine hardware and optimize software before a full rollout. The delayed launch of the base iPhone 18 could also be a strategy to position the iPhone 17 series as a long-term value model, keeping it in production longer while Apple finalizes the more advanced A20 platform for mainstream use. Meanwhile, the Pro and Pro Max models will serve as early showcases of Apple's 2 nanometers power, just as the iPhone 14 Pro models introduced Dynamic Island before it came to the base iPhones later on. From a consumer standpoint, the shift to 2 nanometers means that the A20 chip will bring not just raw speed, but smarter efficiency. Expect longer battery life, cooler operation, and smoother multitasking, even under heavy workloads. However, given a 50% rise in chip costs, the price increase is unavoidable unless Apple chooses to take a major profit cut, which is highly unlikely for a company that prioritizes premium margins. Analysts predict that if Apple raises prices for the iPhone 18 lineup, it may simultaneously boost the value of older models like the iPhone 17 and 16, positioning them as more affordable alternatives to maintain market balance. Another important takeaway from this report is that TSMC's higher 2 nanometers pricing will likely impact the entire tech ecosystem, meaning that not only Apple's iPhones, but also MacBooks, iPads, and other 2 nanometers chip devices in 2026 and beyond could see similar price increases. This marks the start of a new era where semiconductor advancement equals higher retail costs, reflecting the growing complexity of chip manufacturing. It's also worth noting that Apple's choice to move into the 2 nanometer space early could secure its long-term leadership in performance efficiency, giving a significant edge over competitors like Samsung's Exynos or Qualcomm's Snapdragon series, which are still finalizing their 2 nanometers pipelines. In conclusion, the iPhone 18 series represents both a technological triumph and an economic challenge, with Apple pushing boundaries like never before, but at a price that may redefine premium. The 2 nanometers A20 chip promises faster processing, smarter AI, and better battery performance. But with production costs soaring by up to 50%, Apple may finally pass the burden to its loyal customers. If the reports hold true, We could see the most expensive iPhones in history, potentially starting above $899 for the base model and crossing $1,200 for the Pro variants. And with the staggered release, Apple seems to be carefully managing its resources and market strategy to ensure the smoothest transition into this next-gen architecture. Whether this move will delight fans or frustrate buyers remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. The iPhone 18 will mark a pivotal moment in Apple's journey toward the future of mobile technology. If you're an Apple enthusiast eager to experience next-level performance and innovation, you might want to start saving now. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the iPhone 18's exciting yet expensive future, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay ahead of every Apple update. Only on TechVerse, where innovation meets imagination. If Apple truly delivers a performance leap promised by the 2nm A20 chip, the iPhone 18 series could easily become the most powerful smartphone lineup ever made. But that innovation comes at a price. For now, if you're not in a rush, waiting for Apple's official reveal in 2026 might help you make the smartest purchase decision. Stay informed, stay tech savvy, and keep exploring the future with TechVerse.